Hello, it's Coach Jessica, and I'm going to give you tips on how to achieve a good British accent. So first, you have to keep in mind that British people and American people don't pronounce T's and R's the same way. So the Brits pronounce it the same way that they write it, whilst the Americans pronounce it more like a D. And also in terms of the R, if it's followed by a vowel, then British people pronounce it, but if it's not, then it's muted. Whilst for Americans, they pronounce it both ways. So for instance, we can use the word better. See, in the pronunciation of this word for British accent, you cannot hear the R, but you can hear the sound that we call the schwa sound, which is the better. So it's the E and the R combined. It makes almost like an ah sound. Whilst American will say better. See, they pronounce the T like a D, and they pronounce the R. Also, in terms of the O, so British people elongate the O. Like I just said, O, whilst Americans say O. So British people would say, I'm going, to go and to show, whilst Americans would say show and go. It's not quite the same. And in terms of the U, for instance, we pronounce it, we elongate the U as well. So we will say duty, whilst Americans would pronounce it more like oo sound. They will say duty. And that's pretty much it. But you have to remember as well that vowels like the A vary in terms of depending on the word. So when there's a combination of W and A, Americans pronounce the A more like a R sound, whilst we pronounce it like a O sound. So for instance, water, Americans say water, it's not the same. Or warrant, Americans would say, but British say warrant, it's not the same. And that's it for the tips of today. Thank you for listening.